Alright, there we go. Okay, now, I don't know what the... Hey, look! Oh, yay! The live chat thing is working. That is awesome. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad that everyone can hear me. Oh, wait, is it only... Is it only YouTube? No, Twitch was showing up too. Okay, anyway, so welcome to the stream, everyone. Just a couple of bookkeeping things to start the year off with. Unfortunately, due to a variety of circumstances, a lot of the other team members were not able to make it tonight. We had some last-minute cancellations due to personal matters, COVID, stuff like that. So... don't tell me. Yeah, no, that'd be funny. So it's just going to be me tonight. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get a whole ensemble thing going on, but there was a lot going on. I am also running on maybe 4 hours of sleep right now across the last 2 days. A combination of work and the baby have not left me a lot of time to get sleep, so I've gotten like a lot of intermittent 1 hour naps. So I might be a little out of it. Please forgive me if I'm a little slow to respond to things, or if I get kind of distracted, because I am worn out. A lot of people did want me to push the stream back, so I decided, in the interest of getting a nap in, that I would do that, as well as making it more accessible. It does look like a lot more people were able to tune in at this time, so we'll probably stick to this time, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Second of all, I see a lot of people on YouTube, and I like that. I'm just going to let you know, though, I don't know if the raffle will work on YouTube. So obviously I'm going to be giving away a free, Jedi Luke. I was going to use a Twitch bot to do it, but if there's a ton of people on YouTube who are watching, I need to figure out a way to do it between YouTube and Twitch where I can do this giveaway. So, I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. I'm going to think about how I could maybe do this. Because it's like, I could probably copy everyone's names into like a random number generator and then pull it that way, roll a die. And then do it that way. That might be the easiest way to do it. I guess if I have to multi-stream. I was really hoping to get more tools figured out before I got to this point, but New Year, tons of fun. The holidays were crazy. With the new baby and everything else, it's just been switched over to Twitch. I mean, if it comes down to it, I'll probably just go off of if people comment on either Twitch or YouTube. So if you comment something on both Twitch and YouTube, you might get double the chances. So do that if you have both. Sorry if I don't have an answer right now, because I really don't know. I want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to be in this raffle thing person. So anyway, wanted to start off first. I've got the list building stream. This is the limited edition Luke. So this is one of them Hoth Lukes. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on a couple, due to my patronage at a couple of different stores, and so I decided to share the good fortune and give one away. Yeah. Please, yeah, don't make fake accounts. That's no bueno. I wonder why... That's interesting. Your name keeps showing up as orange. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so let's see here. 1, 2. It's okay if you give me a roll again. I got you hooked up. Oh, you got hooked up. Okay. 2. See, already my mind's starting to go. Just, everything's floating away off into the distance. So the point of this stream is going to be, we're going to do list building, obviously. But we're also going to talk a little bit about, the year to come, the kind of stuff I'm hoping to see from the game, and stuff like that. There's a lot going on. I'm going to try to talk about I'm going to try to talk about stuff that's coming up in the new year, events, stuff like that, projects that my teammates have been working on. Like I said, I was hoping to have them on to talk about it with themselves, but right now I should be it should be pretty interesting. So anyway, so we'll start with the easy thing first. Obviously Invader League is coming up. So that's pretty huge. Let me make sure I've got my information correct for this. Wish I actually, that'd be kind of cool if I could. Let me see here. That doesn't work. Okay. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, cool. There we go. Invader League. Woo! I figured it out. All right. So there's the information for Invader League. So signups obviously are going to be starting in 3 days. You got a lot of stuff. For those of you who don't know, if I'm right, usually pods are in a group of 5 people. I am going to be running each of my currently streamed lists during the pod phase. So I'm going to be running 5's Fire Support, Separatist Mechanized Assault, Rebel Hero Hammer, and what about this one? Sorry, we had a technical. That's the other thing too. That was the other bookkeeping. That was what I forgot. My computer has been glitching recently. It's been stuttering. It's been freezing, and then you hear a little click, and something starts back up. So if I freeze for a minute, please forgive me. Something like that. So yeah. Anyway, on my Empire list as well. Whatever it was, I don't remember. I was running something Empire. So I'm going to run those 4 lists to start off with, and then the 5th week I'm going to run the list that some people have been hearing a little bit about from me, which is my Madness list, which is 4 special forces, all of which aren't the same. So that'll be a really weird list, and I'll probably stream that game at least. Sam Slider, wish the UK had something like that. This is an online TTS tournament, Sam. If you're in the UK, you 100% can sign up. There is information on the website. It should link to our video, the Team Relentless videos on how to use TTS. As long as you have a computer that can run TTS, you can join in. And I mean, if you can commit to the time requirements. So we get players around the world for Invader League. I know the Germans, the Australians especially, both have had very, very strong showings. We've had some other international players who have done very well. So you definitely look into this. You can sign up. It's great, especially because a lot of us can't play in store. It's really nice to have an option to play something, and the prize ain't something to sniff at. So definitely check it out, man. So that's, Invader League's coming up real quick. Hopefully, some... Oh, so there you go. We'll be able to have more information on that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to run nonsense that I've already run during the round robin, and then kind of proving my points, which of course I guess kind of tells my opponents that they have to prep for 1 of 4 lists. My 4th week opponent's going to have the easiest time because he's guaranteed to know what I'm going to play. Is this league okay for a new player? This league is actually super ideal for a new player. You could end up in those infamous pods of death where you end up with like LJ and Riha and Kingsley and like a bunch of pro players, but like even then everyone's really, really relaxed during round robin, especially. It's a lot of fun. I know I'm always up just to teach a game, when I'm playing with somebody. So if somebody's, relatively new, I'm not, and especially in round robin, I'm not going to bring some destructive meta list against that kind of person. I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but a lot of players are going to play something that's relaxed, especially in your like the first part of the tournament. So for new players, it's 100% a good way to get your feet wet. Yeah, 100% Moxon. So I cannot recommend it enough. This is like the league to get into if you're really just like, I want to like learn how to play and get like my feet wet with the meta and start, you know, dipping my toes into the competitive community. Invader League is the way to go. It's a great, you know, our online community is great. People are very, very relaxed. It's very flexible on when you can get games in. Because it's not like you have to play every Tuesday. It's, you know, you get your opponents, you know who you have to play, and then you just schedule those games when and how you'd like. So, the other thing too, I guess the kind of transition is obviously, I think it's already tied off by now. Let me see here. Yes, so Battle Lines just ended the map building competition, but there's some awesome maps. I know, for example, Orchimedes submitted some really interesting ones. So we're gonna have some really cool maps for Invader League. I was gonna have Nerf Leon to talk about maps. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it. He was my last minute cancellation. He had some personal issues to attend to. So yeah. So I know he's been working really hard on some other maps as well. So we're gonna see some, you know, real nice new developed maps. Which is a real advantage over, I think, over a lot of home stores where you kind of have to throw terrain together. You'll be able to play on maps that are designed to be very balanced, very fun. So that's something I'm looking forward to. That's like a, you know, going forward, you know, it's like, oh, hey, look, this is, we're learning all the time, right? We're learning what works, what doesn't work. Early on, well, like one of the big things people thought about with maps was having like a big center line of sight blocker. As the game's developed, that's become less and less an approach that people want to take. So the maps that we're running are constantly evolving. So I'm really excited to see what kind of maps come out of people's brains in the new year. So that's a big one. So yeah, Invader League, new maps, very cool stuff. All around good times. Yeah. Let's see here. Make sure I've got everything. Also, since I'm sure he was going to want to talk about it anyway. Brad and I have started playing Armada as well. We may stream games every now and again if people are interested in that kind of content. It will not be serious. It will be probably me putting ridiculously large ships on the table. I am a huge fan of Super Star Destroyer, no matter how not competitive it is. So there's definitely room for that in the lineup, but that'll be more just like, hey, we're just doing this now, and if you subscribe to the Twitch channel, you'll know. That will probably also not be on the Team Relentless YouTube. That's something I'm not sure the YouTube's more for like curated content like this, so it'll probably just be on my Twitch. So if you're interested in that, watching Brad and I get down and be nonsensical with beer and pretzels and Armada, watch on the Twitch. It'll be on the Twitch, so you'll have to follow there. What else? You know, I think it's a good time to talk about Groff, you need to spend money on Armada because you're local and I can bring a Superstar Destroyer. Do you need to download a program to chat with people, Moxon? I'm assuming you're referring to Invader League. Everything's run through the Discord. So if you have a Discord, or if you're part of the Legion Discord, you will absolutely be able to communicate through that. That's how most people are going to do it. So anyway, kicking off the new year with some other fun stuff. If you have recently gotten into the game, my teammates have created a buying guide. I'm sure that has been floating around. Aloha from Hawaii. That's exciting. Always excited to see viewers who are not from, I don't know or haven't met before. So if you've gotten into this game recently, like a lot of you have said, I highly recommend you look into this. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. They've had their own streams about it, and it's super cool. Let's see here. It's helpful to do. So we've got this. There's a YouTube video called Legion Buying Guide Winter 2020. Highly recommend you look at that, especially if you're already on YouTube. Just follow the Team Relentless link and you'll find it. And then there's this nifty Legion Synergy tool. So, let's see here. Let me get my screen going here. All right, here we go. So, we are still updating this. This is a work in progress that we are doing. So let's talk about. I really should put we should put Alice in here before anyone else. Moxon, I will drop a link to the Discord in the description on YouTube as well. Since I know there are new people watching this stream. And that way you'll be able to connect more easily if you don't already have it. Let's go with, anyway, with this. Let's go with good old Darth Vader. Who does he synergize with? Nobody! He synergizes with nobody. That's the only thing he really synergizes well with is IRG. Oh, wow, we put Dewbags pretty low. That's sad. Anyway, the new thing that we're going to be doing, let's see if I can find it. I think we have it floating around there. Oh, maybe not. It's like this. I don't remember where it was. Anyway, the thing we're adding to this, people have asked a little bit about, is we are going to be adding Y, basically, is the next step to this thing. So when you look at this, you click on, let's say, Sabine, right? And you see that there are these strong synergies. People have been like, that's cool, but like, I don't know why they have strong synergies. We are going to be updating it where they should be like a little, I think it's a little dot over here-ish, little question mark. If you click on it, it'll have an explanation for why Sabine is good with Leia, why Sabine is good with Clan Ren. We're going to do it, I think, for strong and good synergy, but not for neutral or poor. So just a little bit of extra information there on what's coming up in terms of that content. So pretty cool stuff. If you are new, I highly recommend you check this out. Excuse me. So yeah, good stuff there. Good stuff. So that's some of our going forward projects for Team Relentless. There might be other stuff, but that's all I can reveal at the moment. So, yep. So let's go back to the page. That's really offset. Oh well, we'll make it work. That's a great idea. I did not come up with this idea. This is not me. This was my other teammates' idea. That's really cool though. They designed it. I just contributed a little bit. So anyway, we're gonna get started with some list building. Our top rated list as of this poll here. Let's refresh it just to be sure. All right, full of surprises. Lando Luke. Sounds like Land of Lakes, but it's Lando Luke. So, let's grab Lando. Now, I'm inclined to think I want to take Op Luke with Lando. And I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But let's look at what we've got, right? So we've got contingencies. That's pretty huge. What that means is we can basically take all of Luke's cards and still have access to 3 additional cards. Now, it could very well be that the correct thing to do here is to have 3 Luke cards in reserve and 3 of Lando's cards. But let's talk about what Lando's cards do first. The only one we know so far is Ace Up His Sleeve. When Lando issues an order to a unit, it gains 1 dodge or 1 standby token. And then this basically you can discard this card from your contingencies or hand if you want to just give a unit a free order. It's like a quasi HQ uplink with some kind of some really interesting properties, right? Because it's not it's just an issued order. I don't think Lando is issuing the order. So I don't think it'll trigger off any effects specifically that trigger off of if Lando issues this unit an order, which might matter for like commands, the command slot purposes. But anyway, I think these synergies here are immediately apparent for Luke. When he issues an order to a unit with this card, it gains a dodge or a standby. Luke likes either of those things. One of the strongest things that comes out of Obi-Wan's 1-pip can often be a free standby token. So if Luke's already engaged in melee, giving him a standby could be incredibly strong. If Luke's not engaged in melee, giving him a dodge could be incredibly strong. So already we're looking at a card that's got a lot of synergy with Luke, and feel like it's going to be worth taking. So we're actually going to put Ace Up His Sleeve into the main slots. And we're going to probably cut... I'm inclined to cut my ally is the Force, and put Full of Surprises in the reserve. So the reason why I want to do this, it's contingencies is really, really strong, right? But it goes away if Lando dies. So if you've got Lando's cards in the contingencies pile... Wait, no. Am I crazy? I'm crazy. Never mind. You do put it in the contingencies pile. I'm all over the place. Basically, you want to put his cards in the contingencies pile, so if he dies, you don't lose any extra commands. So like right now, if I lost Lando in like turn 1 to a super Death Star blast, I would just lose his card from the pile, from the contingency pile. So we're gonna put his card in the pile. Sorry, it's like I said, it's been a minute. I'm all backwards. I was confoozled for a sec there. So yeah, we're gonna take all Luke's cards and then Ace Up His Sleeve is in the back. Then I'd probably take Sabotage Comms and Covering Fire, because why not? Once we know more of Lando's cards, Lando's other cards probably will take up the other 2 slots in the contingencies pool. But we don't know what they are, so... Anyway, what do we give everybody? So, Lando is a Courage 2. I could turn him into a Special Forces to give him Infiltrate kind of guy. He does have Flawed. And this is where, you kind of get concerned, because Lando's a pretty powerful character. Not for his... he's got a range 3 attack that's pretty good, and Sharpshooter 2, which is never bad, and Pierce 1. He's a very safe, very strong character, which makes me think his flaw is going to be incredibly debilitating. And given that we know he just straight up betrays the heroes at one point, I feel like his flaw is going to be extremely debilitating. So you got to be cautious about that. But with a range 3, 1 black, 1 red sniper pistol with Pierce 1 and Surge to Crit and Sharpshooter 2, I feel like he's just gonna he's gonna be able to stay long range and kind of poke. He doesn't want to take sustained fire, but he can definitely pop out and do some damage. If he can slip through like strike teams, he's gonna have a good time. Sorry, I just saw this. I don't think you can swap a Luke card. You cannot, because I don't think you can play the Luke card if Luke's dead. That said, this is not a situation. This is not a build where you're going to want Luke. If Luke dies, you're probably in a pretty bad situation as it is. I don't see a lot of games where Luke goes down. Especially, that's why I chose Op Luke, because he's a little bit beefier. Luke should have a dodge on, probably 4 turns at least, if not more. And with that in mind, we are going to take R2. And specifically R2-3PO, because this allows us to feed Luke dodges. I talked a little bit before about timing dependency. Excuse me. The reason that I want to take these is because this is a way. Or no, what am I doing? I don't want R2. Never mind. I lied. I know what I want. I want a generic rebel officer. That was what it was. This allows us to infiltrate Lando and still have a commander. That was what it was. I had a plan. I totally had a plan. Don't think I didn't have a plan. I did not, actually. This is going to give us a couple of benefits. This is going to give us access to strict orders on the rebel officer, not Lando, which means Lando doesn't need to take anything here. Improvised is not bad, but he doesn't have any free recovery cards, so I'm not inclined to think it's that good to have, like, improvised, for example. So anyway, he's got good defensive tricks. Like, I'm almost comfortable just giving Lando situational awareness and nothing else, and just walking away. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Then Luke, I think to nobody's surprise, we're gonna take Barrier because Barrier is awesome. We're gonna take Jedi Mind Trick because Jedi Mind Trick is really good with you serve your master well. We're gonna take Push because Push is bonkers good, and we're gonna take Tenacity. Then, because we have strict orders, we're going to take some Rebel Vets. We're going to do it. We're going to take up Vets so I can get some good stuff. So we'll take two beefy boys together along with a couple of Mark IIs. That puts us at 7 activations, and then let's take some snipers. I think Rebel snipers are probably the weakest right now, but that gets us to a comfortable 10 activations with a 13-point bid. If you're not super comfortable with a bid that deep, you could also go with... I don't think you need a portable scanner. This guy is literally here to feed Luke dodges. You could give him electro binoculars, and then he can just give out a dodge and an aim, but that's super not like efficient. So you could also swap him out for R2-3PO, but then you get into that situation where you're trying to figure out where you're going to squeeze R2's cards in, and that just becomes a whole cluster of issues. So I think at 13 points, this is a pretty filthy list. It's really strong. You're pivoting the entire game around making sure Luke's going to do well, but your opponent's going to have to focus on Luke, and that will allow your Rebel Vets and Mark IIs to do a lot of damage. The other really interesting thing here is, and I keep reminding people of this, is because of the keywords on the CM093, Critical 2, and the Mark II Blaster, Critical 2, this can do a ton of damage to vehicles. Like, you can soften up, like, against, like, say, for example, double AAT. Your Vets and your Mark II can soften up the AAT if they get in range. Lando also has Surge to Crit, which means he can do some work there too. And then Luke can just Son of Skywalker the other one and chop it up into tiny bits. You definitely want to get close as quick as possible because you don't want to be taking high velocity shots. But yeah, you can definitely do some damage with this list against heavy armor. So this is what I'm thinking for Lando Luke. There you go. There it is. Objectives. What do you play? Sabotage the Vaps. Hostage exchange isn't super ideal, but again, anything that lets you play towards the center is probably good, so that's probably okay. KP is great, and Intercept is probably fine. Probably those. Deployments, Hamden is usually pretty good. You're just going to take your standard deployments, I think. You don't have a huge range advantage, so you probably don't want to take Long March. Danger Close lets Luke get there super quick and major offensive. Conditions, you want Luke to get there, so Limb Viz is always good. I think Rebels are super weak on Minefield. Everybody else can either not care, i.e. CIS, or rely on their better saves to take mines. Rebels have to do that dodge trick where they dodge and move in, and that's just a lot of action economy loss. So I almost never take Minefield as a Rebel player unless I have a very specific objective in mind. So probably go with fortified positions. War weary and clear conditions, I guess. Excuse me. That's been building up for a while. Usually right after I wake up, my sinuses are all over the place. So there you go. Land of Luke. Right there. That's what I would build for that. Did someone say AAT? I did, but I'm not going to show it because I already did that in another stream. So Separatist Mechanized Assault. That was a thing. Oh, it was Imperial Armor. That was my other one. So at least 2 of my lists I'm going to run in Invader League are going to be heavy based. That'll be fun. Anyway, so that's that one. That's the popular one. Again, it's really dependent on Lando's cards. You get such flexibility with Lando being able to have contingencies 3. There's probably 1,000 builds you could do with different characters that you shuffle in all these really cool effects, and your opponent has to plan around what cards you might contingency out, what tricks you can pull. One thing that I think is kind of interesting is you take Lando and Leia with triple tauns, which doesn't sound super good, except for that you now have a No Time for Sorrows that can actually hit all 3 tauntauns because you use Ace Up His Sleeves to pass off the order to a tauntaun, and then it gets the free move. So that's something I was like vaguely thinking about the other day, which just seems kind of cool. I don't know if it's worth it, but it's there. It's an option. You could do it. And then both of your leaders have Sharpshooter too. So maybe there's something for that. I don't know. So, yep. So that's that. All right. So what is next on our agenda here? Hey, people like my post. What leader would I like to see next? That is an awesome question. I'm not going to give a specific answer in terms of, I already got who I want. I wanted Krennic, and I got Krennic, so I'm happy. We could get, I guess, Moff Gideon, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I probably like Moff Gideon. But here's what I want. I want leaders, either commanders or operatives, with the non-combatant keyword. They don't contribute dice. They don't fight. They contribute command cards and useful keywords. Like, imagine if you just had like a 50-point guy who had the compel bubble and like 1 or 2 command cards. That'd be super cool. Like, that's my big thing right now. I would love to see, like, and then there's, of course, I would like to see a Republic Palpatine, who has, like, I think you can't take him with any other characters, obviously, because there would be issues there. So he's, like, the only commander you can take. He starts off with non-combatant. He's got some, like, useful, like, because think about, like, him now, right? Palpatine right now in the game. He has 2 control cards, and he's got 1, like, super attack card. So he starts off non-combatant with, again, like, probably pulling the strings, some nice buffs. And he's got 2 really strong control cards. Then his 1 pip is him revealing himself. He loses non-combatant. He gains deflect. He gains, like, he always has Master of the Force. But he, like, loses deflect. He gains the super strong attack. He gets jump, and of course it's the art of him just doing the corkscrew through the air, and he just dives on somebody. He's like, and he just murders somebody, and from there on out he can attack and be shot and stuff like that. So that I would like to see that version of Palpatine. But most of them, so for example, like Newt Gunray, right, is the one that everyone thinks of right away. The Nemoidian's got, he's got non-combatant. He's got some nice buffs for droids. Maybe he allows you to bring some extra battle droids. Because that'd be really cool. Again, I always say I want to see stuff that lets you mess with the Force organization chart some more. So maybe he's got, like, a keyword like, I don't know, what would it be called? Like retinue, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, he can let you take like 2 extra B1s. So you can take 8 B1s now. And he's got some, command cards that issue orders to droids. You could also have it's like he actually weakens battle droids in a sense because he's got the OG battle droids that have to use the command ship. So maybe like the droids get, like have worse AI. Like it goes from like AI attack to AI. I don't know, dodge. I know it would be worse. I would have also said that the senator that we have that's in the hostage situation one, the one that's went from being like the random guy to like a total BA in the TV shows. He would be a cool one too, to be like a non-combatant. Just stuff like that just seems interesting to me. I never played a Song of Fire and Ice, the tabletop game. But I know that you include like an advisor or something that's like a non-combatant character who like helps you out by giving you buffs on the side. I like stuck and gravitated to that idea of like, oh, this is super cool. So I'd like to see some characters who don't contribute offense. And like that, to a certain extent, that's what R2 does right now. He doesn't, not really often being used for as an offense dice. Maybe if you got like the opportunity to throw a kick somewhere. But most of the time, he's not attacking. I'd like to see more units that are just straight up like, hey, let's just buff things. Or let's just give you access to some command cards. Maybe there's a 35-point garbage guy who literally just exists to give you one command card, but the command card's pretty good. Who knows? It's just, I like the idea of having stuff like that. I want the game to be a little more dynamic. So that's what I'm going to say. Gideon specifically, non-specifically, I would like to see non-combatant characters who do things. Not on there, but I'm curious to see how Callus would do with Boba and Bosk. If we have time, I will try to put a list together for that. But for now, we have to go on to our next one, which is Callus and Iden, Advanced Combat Training. So let's go to that. Empire. So. Everything's on the table at the AMG. They're going to crank it out. Wait and see. I hope so. I hope they crank out a ton of cool stuff. Okay, so... Nope. All right, here we go. Callus and Iden. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. We've got access to... So, free recover actions are really nice. I wish Tactical Strike worked for Callus, but it doesn't. So, we're in this... Here's the interesting thing, right? I'm going to take Dio, obviously, because Dio's amazing. Always take Dio if you can. And normally when you're taking Dio, you're always in that awkward spot where you, like, don't necessarily want to take both of Iden's 2 pips, but with contingencies, you 100% can. So, I look at this and I go, okay, I can now take Pulse Scan, Face Me. We're going to use Push, Concussive Blast, Coordinated Fire, and Tactical Strike. Right? So, we're going to give Iden Overwatch because she's got access to, what do you call it? She's got access to a standby with Pulse Scan. We'll give her, she's got a free recover at one point, so we'll give her Offensive Push. And then since we're going to be taking, the thing is, again, is that this is also one of those situations where it's like, we're going to take Covert Op, and we're going to take Incapacitate. What did I want to say? Yeah, I lost my train of thought again. Curses. You can do a lot with this list, right? There's so many different options, and it's going to depend a lot on what Callus's cards are. Like, Face Me is already looking really good. Obviously, he gains Agile 1 and block. He can perform a free recover action. And enemy units cannot withdraw, which is really useful for pinning down someone like Luke. If his force abilities are down, he can't just disengage. We're going to give him his staff because his staff is really good. And then we're going to give him... He's going to get to free recover, so we're going to give him offensive push. We're also going to give him... Nothing there. And we're not going to give him... We'll give him strict orders, just so that the army has strict orders. Alright. Since we're going to want a lot of face-ups, let's go with Upshores. Yeah, I'm biased. I like having my orders face up all the time. Take 3 Upshores. Take 3 Mortars. And let's see if we can fit 3 snipers in here. We probably can. Can't take that many. Okay, so that's 11 activations, 721. Let's go ahead and throw some T21Bs in there. How many can we give it? 2 T21Bs. So that's pretty strong, right? That's a lot of potential damage. Tenacity's also fine on him, I think. This could go either way. You can take Tenacity. We didn't take Aiden's Rifle, which I think is fine. I'm actually in the camp that it's actually fine to not take a rifle if you don't want it. But, like, this is a good list, right? Tenacity is really good. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying if Marvel Crisis Protocol is any indication, we should be seeing a lot of products. I actually don't agree with that assessment. AMG has been very open about a lot of stuff, and one of the things that they were open about was that MCP had a really, really accelerated year one release cycle. They wanted to get a ton of product out as soon as possible to give the players a lot of options when playing, and they're gonna be it looks like they're gonna be tuning it back in year two. Now, of course, that we know that they've got Star Wars IPs to deal with, that might have been why. But I don't think you're going to see products turned out at the same rate. Like, I think if you're expecting Marvel Crisis Protocol levels of product releases, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah, so. Interesting opinion on Aiden's Rifle. I mean, it's fine. I think you take it if you want it, but, like, with Callus having his bow staff, the Pierce is generally pretty good. And it's a choice. If you want it, it's good. But you don't necessarily need it if you think the points are better spent elsewhere. I think having 11 activations in this list, having enough strike teams to make tactical strike good, having enough core to make coordinated fire good is solid here. And again, Callus's cards could change this. His 2 and his 3 pips could be insanely good and make this entire list change in a heartbeat. I don't know. But I know right now, this is what I would build given the information that I have. Zach D, I think Crisis Protocol needs a large mini base to start with just for how the game functions. Yes. They needed to release as much as possible, as soon as possible, so people would get invested as quickly as possible. Now they can slow down their release schedule, and the game will still feel super diverse and will continue to feel diverse as people come up with new and interesting ways to integrate units. Especially because of how the affiliations work. You know, I love Ghost Rider. I run him in every list that I have. And the fact there are so many different affiliations and minis right now means I can build 1,000 lists with Ghost Rider in it, and it feels good. Which is a strength. It lets you play most people are going to be able to play what they want to play at the start of the new year, which is ideal for that game. So yeah. But so that is advanced combat training. And if you're wondering why I call it that, it's because they both have the 2 red melee attack. Jesse, you feel like a repeater is a must. I used to think that too. It's really good against like rebels and CIS where you want more hits because they're low save, but her regular rifle is actually better against high save models. Excuse me. And with Shores, especially, having the ability to just do magnitudes of hits, I think that you're kind of hedging your bets. I think it's more effective to have this version, especially, again, it's just if you can afford it. If you really want the repeater, take the repeater. I'm sure you can find the points. But I've been kind of, I don't say turned off it, but I don't think it's necessary in every list. And in this list, I couldn't afford it, so I'm not taking it. Simple as that. Oh man, I'm going to keep sneezing. This is bad. Alright, anyway. Back to this. So, look, the next one is also an Imperial list. It's Clever Cunning. Alright, so let's get there. Callus and Krennic. This is my personal favorite of what we've got right now. So, we're going to take Callus, we're going to take Krennic. And we're going to take all the good cards. So I actually think in this situation, I'm not even going to waste my time having push or anything in here, because it's going to be Callus's cards. You're going to have all of your cunning cards in your main deck, I think. And that's just because, again, so the whole trick with this, right, is Callus has cunning. Krennic has cunning. You have a command hand that is entirely cunning, which is hilariously good. If you want to go first, of course. If you don't want to go first, it's not so great. But, I mean, this is a build where you can literally be like, oh, I'm going to open with Annihilation Looms. Because a lot of people will play like 1 or 2 pips on turn 1. And then from there on out, every turn after turn 1, you can basically just guarantee priority. Unless you're playing against like Han. So. As for contingencies, I'd probably take Coordinated and Covert Observation in this scenario. And this one's going to be a little bit different, though. So I think you actually go DTs, Overwatch. I actually think Callus takes Overwatch in this scenario because his bow rifle is so good. Here's where things get really messy, though, right? You're going to have 3 of each character's command cards, and you do kind of want aggressive tactics. But do you want to spend 30 points on aggressive tactics on both of them? That's the question. It doesn't seem like you would want to. So I'm not going to do it, because I think there are other ways to do this effectively. We're going to do one of my favorite tricks. We're going to put a comms relay on the Death Troopers. We're going to take a Shore Trooper unit with Gideon Hask. We're going to take a Shore Trooper unit with a T-21B. And we're going to take a mortar. Now what this does is it means that every turn when Krennic does his entourage order, he orders the DTs. The DTs relay to Gideon. Gideon then orders all your core out of the bag. Every turn. So we're going to do that. We're going to take... So we've already got a linebacker with Callus. So we're going to take some other options. We're going to take ISF. Okay, can't take that many. And then we're going to take 1 strike team. There we go. 798. 9 activations. You'll never have core in your bag. You'll only ever have special forces and commanders in your bag, which I think is fine. I think it's really good. This just feels strong to me. I feel like you can do a lot of damage with this. You could probably also make some adjustments to like get some like offensive pushes on the ISF and stuff, but this list just feels dirty to me. Like you just have all the cunning. Yeah, so do something like that. I mean, you might not even need strict orders, honestly. You can probably cut that in favor of getting some upgrades somewhere else. I don't know. Like this is Callus Krennic again. This is the one out of all the lists I'm going to talk about today. This is the one that needs its command cards figured out, because like whatever Callus's command cards do are going to dictate the entire pace of this list. Because it's a question of how much cunning do I want, right? How many cards do I want that have cunning? Because if Callus's other 2 command cards are garbage, maybe you don't have 6 command cards with cunning, and then this whole list falls apart. I'm assuming that they're good commands. But if they're not, well, then suddenly I have to rethink my entire life, right? So this is what I got for this. I think this is right now my soft launch on Callus Krennic is this build. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Next up, we have another Rebel list, which is, I actually expected this list to get a lot more traction, which is Lando Han. So we're going to bin all of this, because this list is not going to use the same stuff. This list is complete jank, in my mind. This list is going to be designed entirely around making sure your opponent can't do things. So you take Lando, you take Han. Alright, you're going to take... Sorry about the mess. We're going to take Sabotage Communications. We're going to take Reckless Diversion. We're going to take Change of Plans. We're going to take, obviously, ASAP is sleep. We're going to put that in the contingency. And then, already low. What else do we take? I think we're actually going to take some other. We're going to take another character here. Get out of here. This is no longer Lando Luke. Let's take R2. R2? No. Not yet. Man, this is hard. This one I actually want. I like the command hand. I just don't know what I want to do with it yet. What if we take Jin? I'm gonna take Jin. This is gonna be controversial, I think. I'm gonna take Jin. And the reason I'm gonna take Jin is because now I can take complete the mission. Now I can take trust goes both ways. And then I can take... Oh, wait, I can't... Darn it, I can't take Jin. Ah! Never mind, I can't take Jin. Alright. We'll take... I was really excited about that. Jin Lando also looks pretty good. But, I'm trying to think who would be good with that standby. I got nothing. We're just going to take... We're kind of like compelled to either take a core heavy list or a support heavy. Ooh, or we could do this. Ooh, we take Turning the Tide. We're going to take 2 X-34s. These two guys are going to sit in X-34s and they're going to fly around. That's what's going to happen here. And then they're going to take pot shots. They're just going to be absolute garbage. We're going to take improvised orders on both of them. This is like a garbage list where like somebody who is like relieves in their luck can pilot this. What do I want? Yeah, I think it's fine. All right, we're gonna take just a bunch of fleet troopers. We're gonna take. It could be called Pit My Ride. That'd be pretty funny. I don't think can I afford? I can afford 3 Mando Resistance. That's nice. We're gonna take 3 Wookiees actually. Can I afford 3 Wookiees? I can if I cut some fleets. Boom! 11 activations. Trip Wookiees. Oh, I didn't take tenacity on the Wookiees though. That's a cardinal sin. All right, we're gonna go into 10 acties so I can give all the Wookiees tenacity. There we go. That's what I'm doing. How much are shotguns? I can't afford shotguns. First to the Falcon wins, basically. Do I care? I can't even take guns on these things. Let's take some jammers just to really play up the whole screw your opponent list. There you go. 21-point bid. I don't know if... And you just rush... You just blitz your opponent, basically. With this one. It's just run in and just hit them as hard as you can. And actually, I think in this scenario, basically, you rush in with the fleets, you rush in with the Wookiees, and the land speeders with Lando and Han just kind of cruise around the edges, picking off sniper teams and soft targets. I think that's fine. Though actually, I think I'm going to take situational awareness off here. I think he's actually going to take seize the initiative. Because you can use sorry about the mess and make Lando go first, which is pretty strong. Especially because he has the increased range in the sharpshooter. You could use that to pick off like an enemy unit leader who's like getting away or something. So we'll take that. Having them recklessly diverted is pretty good. Turning the Tide lets you get suppression off them, which is pretty cool. This just seems like a super mobile list that actually is really strong on a lot of objectives. You probably want to play like Breakthrough and Bombing Run instead of KP and Intercept. So Breakthrough and Bombing Run. And I think you feel really good about that. So, but again, I want to know what Lando's other cards are, because like I'm currently sitting on there's no 3-pip here, and there's no like full contingency suite here. I want Lando's cards. I want to know. what he does. And I will do more streams once I know what he does. Obviously. So, that's what I would say. I want to see somebody run that. I want to see somebody run that to victory. 100%. If someone wants to take up my challenge, take up my banner, run that in Invader League at least once, and I will reward you with something. I don't know what, but I'll reward you with something, just to amuse me. Amuse the Dark Gods. So, alright, what's up next? We have Wizard Lizard, Palpatine Bosk. This is a theory that has been going around since the Dark Ages of Legion, and I don't know how to build it. I'm going to tell you right now, I got nothing. I'll try, but I don't. So for those of you who are new and don't know, the whole idea behind Palp Bosk is that Palpatine is going to give Bosk extra attacks. Because Palpatine's got pulling the strings, he's going to give Bosk extra attacks. Bosk needs Hunter in this build. Palpatine's actually super good now with support, though. So you take Palpatine, you take Barrier, you take Anger, and you take Guidance. And I really want to take Aggressive Tactics on it, but we're going to have Bosk using his command card. So let's give him Inspiring Presence. Why not? He does have Entourage, so we're going to take some IRG with Electro Staff. We'll take Offensive Push, and we'll take Tenacity. And some E-Gear. Bosk. Do you need anything else? No, Bosk is fine. Look at that. We're already at 456. Ugh. We'll take, obviously, all of the cards. All of the cards. Okay, so. This is where I want a cheap character who gives Compel. Because with Palpatine's massive courage bubble, my problem is that no one's going to run, but everyone's going to be suppressed, probably. So, like, I would need a way to manage suppression. I could either do face-ups and use strict orders and then get rid of Inspiring Presence, or I would just like somebody who gives Compel. Now, you could say, well, John, there's access to Compel, but I'm already at almost 500 points, and I am not going to spend 106 points just to get Compel. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it. I don't think. So, we're going to cut Inspiring Presence. We're going to give him strict. And we're going to go the garbage route. We're going to take Shore Troopers, Gideon Hask, with an uplink. And we're going to take another Shore unit, the T-21, a medic, and we're going to take a mortar. 6 activations so far. This is the problem with this build, is you get so few activations. I'm just gonna cop out. I'm just gonna take 2 snipers. I can't even take 2 snipers! Oh my god, no! I can't even make this 10. I can't even make it 8 activations. That's what this is what hurts my soul. I can't even make this 8 activations. If I want to go like... So there's just no point in having strict orders. Couple of heal bots. Maybe... No. This is tricky. Empire doesn't need activation. That's a rebel thing. I wish that were so. So like this would have been... I would have done this pre-arcs, but this is just gonna get trashed by arcs. There's no way you win with this against arcs. I need to wait for Palpatine to go faster, but I can't. I don't want to take a tank. I'm I'm playing Palp Bosk, I can't afford a tank. I wonder. I'm trying so hard to make something here. I know. No up like that shorts. I know. I have no idea. Because I could just go Healbot Heavy. But what if I go with 2 with RT97Cs? That's not bad. That's a huge bid, though. Get Papa's team leader. There you go. 8-point bid. That's what I got. It's I don't know. I just don't know what to do. It's like I get the idea behind it, but like I just don't have a good answer to fixing this. Palpatine is so expensive, and if he doesn't get off and now you will die, it just feels like such a waste. That said, you can absorb a ton of damage with this build, so it's probably good on objectives where you can pressure the middle. But if your opponent pulls something like Breakthrough or Bombing Run, you're probably not going to win. It's just the way of things. You can put a ton of pressure in the middle with like Dioxis Mines and stuff, but you need Palp to be able to go off. And if Palp is supporting Bosk, it's going to be very difficult to pull that off. So that's what I got. That's Wizard Lizard right now. In an arc meta, it's just not worth it to take the snipers, I feel like. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. 792, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I'm at. Worship me. I've created a list. Woo! It's there's so many things I want to do with like a list like this. It's a cool concept, but in execution it just gets super awkward because you just can't fit in the right upgrades with the right characters and have enough activations to be competitive. So, also in case you're wondering, you absolutely force guidance the Royal Guards every time, and like any one of the Stormtroopers. Alright, what else we got? I got 4 more. Lando and Cassian Landspeeder? Okay. That's an interesting choice. We'll get rid of that. Lando, Cassian, and Landspeeders. Definitely still want to take Cassian's config. Definitely still want to take... Here's the problem with Cassian and a Landspeeder, though. You don't get tactical, and that just feels bad. That feels... I'm going to do it. Oh, there was a little glitch. I'm going to do it, but I don't feel great about it, so... Sorry, hold on one sec. Yeah, take them free dodges. Cassian does have the ability to get a free standby, so we'll give him Overwatch with Crack Shot. I need another character in this list. Or at least something that's good with Volunteer Mission. Oh, wait, hold on. Alright, I'm gonna steal this. I'm gonna steal this. Okay, here we go. Lando, Cassian, Landspeeder, but we're not gonna take we're not gonna take Cassian in the Landspeeder. We're gonna take Sabine in the Landspeeder. So she can do explosions. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do explosions. Yeah. This feels good. Now I'm starting to like this. This feels dirty. Alright, we're going to give her the Darksaber. We're going to give her situational awareness. We're going to give her personal combat shield because she gets a free recover. Yeah. Alright, now I'm starting to feel good about this. Okay. Alright, we're going to take some Rebel Troopers who are just there to fill up some activations. So we can take all of the Rebel Troopers. Take 6 of them. That means we have no guns, though. No, we gotta take some. We gotta have some actual firepower backing this up. Cassian. Does Cassian get a free recover? He does, right? He gets it from volunteer mission. Yeah, so we're gonna take offensive push. Don't care. Let's see, what do we got? Well, we got Sabines. Let's let Clan run. Actually, Clan Run is the one place you probably don't take jetpack rockets, because there's only 3 models in that list, or in that squad. Take situational awareness. This is going to be surprisingly tanky. Just take some cheap Rebel Core. I can't take... Can I take 2 snipers? No, 10 points over. This is rough. I'm almost tempted to take off the config. Man, this is hard. It's all about that turn 1 explosions play for Sabine. So I'm kind of thinking... I really want 3 special forces, though. Yeah, we're going to cut the Darksaber in favor of a 2nd sniper team. Boom. 11 activations. 5-point bid. Lando, Cassian, Sabine. There you go. That's what I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Pimp my ride. Or whatever he called it. What did he call it? Drive by and famous. There you go. You can't put Cassie in the land spear. He needs that move to get tactical. It feels like such a waste otherwise to have that keyword. So here I am. Boom. That's what I did. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Melee skew. I'm actually not going to do droid beat bags. Just because it's kind of just what everyone can play right now. Any of the named characters is fine. That's a lot of lists. I might do that at some other point. Melee skew, since there was 2 votes for that one. Okay, this is going to be weird. So, this is a rush build. I'm not comfortable with rush builds, but we're going to try it anyway. So, we're going to take Callus. We're actually going to take Op Vader. Because we want, if we're going to take beat sticks, we want a Vader that can move quick. We need him to keep up with the rest of the army. If he does not keep it up, he's not doing his job. Alright, we want probably snow troopers, because we're blitzing. We're going in deep. We're taking snows and we're taking flamer frags. That's what we're doing. We're taking flamer frag snows. Boom. Taking 3 of them. Alright. We're going in deep, so how many of these can I fit? That's 777. That's actually not horrible. Push, choke, tenacity. Tenacity. Oh, maybe I don't take flame. Huh. Not having tenacity on those IRG hurts. What if I do dewbacks? Are dewbacks cheaper? Dewbacks are cheaper. I'll throw a little less dice, but they don't have a damage fall off either. So let's take tenacity dewbacks. Ooh, that's kind of something. That's something right there. Okay. We're going to take comms jammers, and just so that they have an attack on the approach, we'll take the blaster rifles. There you go. And we'll throw some extra dudes in or something. We'll take some medical droids. Not all the medical droids. Just, looks like we can afford one. We can afford one medical droid. But hey, it's a 14-point bid. There you go. Do the do. There you go. Melee skew right there. You take, obviously you're going to take New Ways. The nice thing is you can take all of you can take all the 1-pips. Not sure that you want to do all the 1-pips, but you can take them all. New Ways to motivate them, which actually isn't bad on Callus. Fear and Dead Men. Master of Evil. Coordinated Fire feels awkward, but we'll take it anyway. And then, there's a discussion right now whether or not you can play Darkness Descends and then discard it to get a different card. The problem is that if you're going to discard it, you're going to get either Master of Evil or Coordinated Fire. This is going to be... If Callus's 3-pip is Beastly, maybe, and that rule does work, you maybe Darkness Descends and then discard it for Callus's 3-pip. But that's... It just depends. It's hard to say at the moment without knowing what it is. Again, we're left in that awkward situation where there's no good answer. So that's what I'm going to say. There you go. You throw everything at your opponent as quick as you can. Just blah, forward. A tide of bodies. That said, this list will absolutely murder any CIS list, I think, that it comes into contact with, because you have flamers for the B1s, you've got Vader to chop up AATs, you got Dewbacks to beat down the AATs. Like this, I think this list actually would probably just rip through any CIS list and probably immediately die to any GAR list. So there you go. That's that. So all right, and last but not least, we have Iden Boba. This is not a list I have looked too much at, so let's see. What is the synergies here? That's the real question, right? I'm not a huge fan of Boba. I think Boba needs a retune. He's a product of an older era. He doesn't have the offense to compete, I think, in the current game. You need burst damage for bounty to work, I think, and he doesn't have it. Even with his biggest attack, which is his, unlike a single target, which is his rocket attack, you're throwing 3 red, 2 black with sharpshooter 2, which caps out at 5 damage with Pierce 1, which is not even close to what an arc squad can do on its own, let alone an arc with fire support. He just doesn't burst. So I think instead we're not going to play around necessarily combat here. We're going to play more around objective play and durability, because both of these characters are pretty durable. They're very resistant to pierce attacks. We'll take Whipcord, we'll take Pulse Scan, we'll take Incapacitate, we'll take Rocket. If what do you call it? If Tactical Strike worked on Boba, that'd be a whole lot of awesomeness. But unfortunately, it doesn't work on him. I wish it was friendly core or friendly special forces commanders or operatives. That would be super good, because then like Veers could take it for a turn, and that'd be really strong on Veers. Boba could use it. That'd be really strong on Boba, cutting his mobility down heavily, but letting him be an absolute beast in combat. But anyway, so we're going to take, obviously, that. We're going to take Coordinated Fire, which means we want a good core backup. The problem is, if we take something like Shores, we don't have access to aggressive tactics or strict orders at all. So it's probably not ideal to take Shores, because you're not getting a lot of value out of them. Instead, we're actually going to take Storms. We're going to take a ton of our T-97C Storms with this build. We're going to give Boba Hunter. We're going to give Iden O-Push, because she's going to get the free recover. This time, probably we're going to take the rifle, just to be safe. And we're going to give Aiden situational awareness, because with quick thinking, it's really good on her. We're going to give Boba recon intel. And then we're going to take probably 2 sniper teams. It's nothing fancy. I don't think this is I don't think it's... Boba's just hard to play right now. I don't know if this is a great build, but hey, it's a build. I've delivered a build. This is not a build I'm super excited about, but it's 10 activations. It's probably fine. It's not like top tier meta crazy, but you could win with this without a lot of trouble. You do have a lot of firepower. Unfortunately, this list is very static. You kind of have to sit down. 10-point stims on Boba, I guess, but I don't have any. If I had medics, maybe it'd be worth it, but it just gives him 1 extra activation. There's no saving him. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But that's the problem, like with Aiden, is like Aiden's one big weakness in my eyes is that she doesn't have a command slot. So it's just not worth it in my mind to try to go with like Shores or something when you don't have access to AT or strict orders. So cry frown sad. That's why I prefer Aiden with like a commander who has good command slots. But yep, so that's what we're gonna go with there. That's my Aiden Boba take. Because it's just hard to put Boba in there. I would love, that is something else I would like, I should say. I would love to see going forward is, I would like to see them release a Characters Reloaded pack. Where it's wave 1, 2, 3 characters for each faction redone. So it's a new Vader. It's a new Boba. It's a new Palpatine. It can come with any combination of commands and or character cards. Even if the new character cards are just their current card updated to correct points costs or whatever. So that you can play those characters differently. Because they're left in the dust right now by a lot of the new upgrades and things. So you could have you get a scary Commander Vader, someone who he's actually got the ability to keep up. You get Boba, who's got explosive burst damage that actually reflects his ability as a bounty hunter. He's not because he's kind of and to be fair, he's got a flamer, he's got a rocket, he's got whipcord. He's got this master of all or jack of all trades thing going here in a game where burst damage is kind of becoming crucial. He needs access to burst, heavy burst damage. So it would be cool to have a different version of Boba. So I'd like to see that. Just that new and Veers, same as he is right now. Just give him a training slot. That's all I ask. That's all I want. I want Veers to be able to take offensive push. It would make him so much better with his own Imperial Discipline card. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I think that would be... I would like to see that in the future. With AMG, maybe it's possible we'll see something like that. Revamped characters. Because I don't think you need to release plastic with every iteration of a character. Because it's if you're going to release another Vader in plastic, it gets awkward. It gets, how many times are you going to resculpt Vader? I mean, I'm sure Brad wouldn't complain. But at the end of the day, it just seems cheaper and easier just to do new cards. It's cheap cardboard. It would be an easy run to do, in my eyes. Especially given how much cardboard they printed for Armada with the new upgrade packs that they did. It's an entire box of cards. Releasing a 5 to... I think it was even... You could even charge people $15. I think they'd still buy it. Just to get new Vader cards, new Boba cards. Rebels, I think Han and Leia probably need updates. I don't think Luke does, but maybe you release a new Luke. Just maybe you give actually, you know what? You do release a new Luke. You give us Farm Boy Luke. Everybody wants Farm Boy Luke. No lightsaber. He's just got, I don't know, or Stormtrooper Luke. He's just got like a blaster. He's not super good at anything. He's got no master of the force or anything like that. He's just a Luke you can put on the table to have a Luke. And like right now, I think it's just the 2 initial factions that need it. It also would be kind of nice to get maybe updates to like some other units, like snipers could use an update, fleets could use an update. So like having alternative profiles for units that still aren't seeing a lot of play despite point changes, that'd be probably pretty cool. So, yep, that's where I'm at with that. So with that, we're gonna wrap it up because we are at an hour and 30, and I'm getting ready to crash because I am tired. I am sorry that I was not able to have quite as exciting a stream as I wanted to. I do appreciate everyone who did come on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through all of the stream chat here, and I'm going to collate everyone's names, put it into a random number generator, and I'll pop someone's name out. I wish I could do it right now, but I can't. So next Friday, we're going to have a live stream that's going to be the GAR. I'm going to do a poll on Sunday for the community voted GAR list, because I don't know what people want me to build. So I'm gonna do a poll. What list do you want me to build for GAR? And in that stream, at the end, I'm gonna make you watch it. I will announce who got the limited edition Luke. So hopefully everyone had a great time. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm so wiped out, and I'm sorry we weren't able to have all the cool stuff. If I can finagle something with the guys that we can have in the stream that I wanted to have, I will obviously make an announcement and put it up. But as of right now, the next stream will be next Friday, and we will be doing the community voted GAR stream. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all. Have a great evening. And enjoy the new year. Woo!